I woke up yesterday and my savings account said $51,000. And I just sat there staring at my phone. Like, wait, when did this happen? Like, I know I've been putting money away every month. I know I've been doing the high-yield savings thing. I know I've been skipping brunch sometimes and meal prepping like a responsible adult. But I didn't expect to actually feel different when I hit this number. And I do. I feel completely different. Maya texted me congratulations with like 17 champagne emojis, and I screenshot it and sent it to Bianca, and she goes, "Yeah, now you're in the weird zone." And I was like, what does that even mean? She goes, "You'll see." And honestly, she was right. $50,000 is this bizarre psychological checkpoint that nobody really talks about in a normal way. So I'm going to say it like we're sitting at my kitchen counter and I already opened the wine. Also, real quick, I'm not a financial advisor or anything. I'm literally just a girl who got obsessed with money after realizing my Amex was eating my life. So obviously your situation is different than mine. But this is what I've been noticing. Here's what happens at $50,000 that I was not prepared for. You stop thinking about money as this thing you're just trying to survive, and you start thinking about it as this thing you can actually use to build a completely different life. Like before 50K, I was in defense mode. Every dollar was about not drowning, paying off the credit cards, covering rent, making sure I had enough for the electric bill, and maybe one night out without feeling guilty. That was the whole game. But once you cross 50,000, something flips in your brain, and suddenly you're thinking about offense. You're thinking about what you can do with money, not just what you can avoid losing. Playing not to lose versus actually playing to win. And that shift is freaking massive. First thing that changes is how you see risk. Before 50K, I would not have touched the stock market with a 10-foot pole because what if I lose it all? What if the market crashes? What if I need that money next month? But when you have $50,000 sitting there, you start realizing that some of that money can take risks because you have a cushion now. You have actual fuck you money. Not like quit your job and move to Bali money, but like if my car breaks down, I'm not putting it on a credit card and crying money. If I lose my job, I have 6 months of expenses covered money. If my landlord raises my rent, I can actually decide whether I want to stay or move instead of just taking it because I have no choice money. And once you have that cushion, you can start being aggressive with the money that's above the cushion. That's the part nobody tells you. You don't invest everything. You keep your emergency fund locked down in the high-yield savings account where it's safe and boring and earning like 4 point whatever %. And then everything above that you can put to work in index funds or a Roth IRA or whatever else you're doing. But you can only do that once you have the cushion. And $50,000 is about where that cushion starts to feel real. Second thing that changes is people start treating you differently, and it's honestly kind of weird. I told my mom I hit 50K, and she got quiet for a second. And then she goes, "Mija, you have more saved than I ever did." And I didn't know what to say to that because it's true, and it made me feel proud and sad at the same time. My friends started asking me for advice like I'm some kind of guru now, when literally 6 months ago, I was the one asking them if I should just pay the minimum on my Amex or sell my couch to pay it off faster. Once you hit a certain number, people start seeing you as someone who has their shit together, and that comes with this pressure to keep having your shit together, which is honestly exhausting. Third thing, and this is the one that messed me up the most, is that you start seeing money as time. Like before 50K, money was just money. It was something I needed to pay for things. But now, I'm looking at my savings account and I'm doing this math in my head like, okay, if I keep saving at this rate and I invest 70% of everything above my emergency fund and the market does what it's supposed to do over the next 10 years, then I could actually retire early. Not like next year, but like in my 50s instead of my 70s. I could buy back a decade of my life, maybe 2. And that thought hits different when you're 28 and you're watching your mom work herself into the ground at 63 because she didn't have the option to save like this. Every dollar I put away now isn't just a dollar. It's 15 minutes I don't have to work when I'm 60. It's a week I get to spend doing whatever I want instead of sitting in a conference room pretending to care about Q3 projections. It's freedom in a way I didn't understand before. And once you see it that way, you can't unsee it. But here's the thing that nobody wants to say out loud. $50,000 is also where you start getting scared, because now you have something to lose. Before this, I had nothing. If I fucked up financially, whatever, I was already broke. What's the difference? But now I have $51,000, and every time I check my account, I'm like, what if I do something stupid? What if I lose it? What if this is the peak and it's all downhill from here? The more you build, the more you're aware of how fast it could all disappear. And that fear is real. So what do you do with all this? You keep going. You don't stop at 50. You adjust your strategy. You make sure your emergency fund is locked in. You start investing the excess. You automate everything so you're not relying on willpower every month. You start thinking about the next checkpoint. 100,000, 200, whatever number gets you closer to buying back your time. $50,000 isn't the finish line. It's the starting line for a completely different game. And if you're anywhere close to this number, or you just hit it, or you're working your way there, just know that everything you're feeling right now, the pride, the fear, the weird pressure, the sudden awareness that you're actually building something, all of that is normal. You're not crazy. You're just awake now. And once you're awake, you can't go back to sleep. So you might as well keep building